What if I told you that the loudest voices in science communication today are part of the very problem they claim to fight? I'm not talking about conspiracy theorists. I'm talking about the debunkers. Sci-Man Dan, Minuteman Milo. These are not educators. They are entertainers trapped in a recursive loop, spending their lives attacking structurally irrelevant ideas and amplifying them in the process. The only possible way to ground yourself ethically or morally is to claim that you believe these ideas have the capacity to change the curriculum, but remaining ignorant to the fact that that means you have no faith in the scientists and academic professionals who design the curriculums. Because if you have the logical capacity to come to this realization, then you know it's not the ideas that need to be argued, it's the structure of how those ideas are presented. A structurally non-causal claim is one that has zero impact on curriculum, public policy, or scientific progress. Arguing against it changes nothing, but repeating it just to prove it wrong keeps it alive. This is what is called epistemic aliasing, the misalignment of public focus onto the wrong questions. Debunking these claims doesn't make the world smarter, it makes ignorance louder. When you debunk a claim that doesn't matter, you boost its visibility, you increase its attention weight, you amplify its reach. You don't kill the myth, you reinforce the meme. And since any supporter of academic learning or scientific research believes that any presented information must be resolved for clarity, ignorance or ignoring this information is not an option. Because of this, information has no effect on entropy. In other words, no causal impact. It's how a person handles that information that determines accountability. That means once a person resolves information into clarity, they can now be held accountable for the decisions they make regarding that information. This brings us to the moral fork. Every science communicator who realizes their target has no structural impact must choose and be held accountable for that choice. Path 1. Keep debunking structurally irrelevant ideas. Doing this reveals incompetence, the inability to resolve clarity, and therefore you are in fact arguing at the limit of your ability. Or you reveal that personal gain is more important than public clarity. To the layman, that either means stupid or bad. Path 2. Rebrand as entertainment. That's fine. You're just acknowledging that you know you're contributing to mistrust. Therefore, you reveal that you have the intellectual capacity to avoid accountability for intent. This is how we defined criminality. Path 3. Evolve. Start talking about the real questions, the unknown, the bleeding edge of knowledge. This third path is not easy, but it's honest. It's where science lives, and where minds grow. Doing this reveals that you have the capacity to help society move forward, the capacity for compassion, the capacity for trust, the capacity to be a hero. If one truly cares about science, they teach what matters, they don't swat flies, they build bridges. So, the paradox has been revealed. We invite you to choose. Because now that you know, ignorance is no longer an excuse. So, who are you? The villain or the hero?